Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the live show.
How are you lot?
We're very
I
good.
hope you're well.
Look at all the comments. So I've got to go through. Do you mind not putting so many comments up before we go live? Or they could respond and say, do you mind being on time? Because it takes me ages to go through it.
The trouble is, particularly when I'm in the UK, we get together and we have a bit of a natter to start with. We ought to stop that. We ought to actually say, Garry, Lindsay, you need to be on the telly, have your chat at 7:45 or 8:45 your time, and then we might get on time.
That's right, because we do
it's never
always
gonna
have
happen,
to.
is it?
No, we always have to have a little chat. All right, top of the shop is Dawn Lim. Good evening, Hoofies.
Hey, Dawn.
Janet Welsh is here. Good evening, Vicky Ware. Good morning, everyone from Australia.
Good morning.
You lying in bed. Catherine Brown's here. Hello, Charlie
Hi,
Brown.
Charlie.
Angie's here. Angie Medler. Good afternoon from
Angie.
Virginia. Hilary Higgs. Hello there, Hilary. Good to see you.
Hello, lovely.
Susan Mitchell's here. Hi, everyone. Mary Brinker, how is everyone doing? Mary from Michigan, USA. Hello, Mary.
Hi,
I hear
Mary.
you've got some x-rays. I think I might be seeing Adele tomorrow. Are you good to join us? Looking forward to that. Bonnie Doyle. Hi, everyone. I'm having a live-a-thon today. Just finished day 72 and excited to be here for day 73.
Oh, lovely to have you here, Bonnie.
Are you feeling all right? Aren't the lessons enough? Getting enough? Anne Blake's here. Hello, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
Joe Moss, all the way from Ireland. Great to be here. Tracy Gray, hi.
Hey, Tracy.
Teresa said, just finished day 10 on the 10-day challenge.
Oh, what did you think? Be gentle with me, Therese. Be gentle.
Martina says, good evening, reporting from another evening run. Where are you reporting
what flag's
from?
That? What's that? What flag's that?
No,
it's not big enough.
Okay, I don't know. Tell us where you're from, Martina. I'm sure you probably already have.
Even the bifocals ain't helping.
Tracy says, I've just done a Benny Hill special Lindsay style day 15 of the challenges, so I wouldn't miss it live.
Oh, so you've had Lindsay on the last day going at super speed.
No. Leah Hullett, hi from a wintry New Zealand. Oh dear, of course. I always forget that. I just keep thinking that it's weird, isn't it? It's so weird. Julie Bradbury, hi everyone. Julie and Kate signing in from the most northerly point of Scotland in Thurso, chilling with G&T after a 15-horse trim day. You're out together. How lovely.
Excellent.
Kate, did you make her do some work? Did you make her do some trims? I want to hear all about it. Aston's here. Hi all from a chilly South African night. Ooh.
Hi, Aston.
Jennifer's here. Hi everyone from the Swiss side of France. Lovely to see you.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you the other day.
I can almost see you over there. I can almost see you. I'm waving. Tracy says, wow, 15 horses. 15 horses. It's going some. Erin Timbrook, hello from Ohio, USA. Sarah's here. Hi all. Louise Yasinchuk, hello everyone. Lovely sunny day here in Timmins, but a bit cool. Hi everyone, says Maggie Thrussell from Wales. Isn't it, Maggie? It is, isn't it? Of course it is. Jackie Kennedy, good evening, guys. Lindsay, please shake that football rattle for yourself. What a post. Okay, I'm going to do it.
For all those in Lanzarote.
I so enjoyed doing that. I don't.
You know, when I was reading it, I was actually smiling because I just know that you were there. Right, this git is gonna get it. I could just see it.
I tell you what, I like, you know, I don't like to get into that publicly. I don't often. It happens, but it's rare. And people had been sharing it with me over the last couple of days because it had been bopping around the internet. And I kept thinking, there's something familiar about that X-ray. And
nicked our image.
And then I copied it and put it in my Canva to play around, have a little play. And I'm like, oh, I know who that is. Oh, and it just wound me up. Plus that on top of somebody else talking about the fact, scoffing and laughing and joking about the fact that we're the low heel, long toe trim. I'm like, just get it right. That's misinformation, because that could be an MPA. So I lost it a little bit and went, damn it, and went.
I went to see a Phoenix Warrior today for the first time.
Oh.
And there was one horse in particular that she wanted help with, and the horse had its shoes taken off 2 days ago. And there was this intermittent lameness, shall we say. Lovely spotty. It was basically a female version of Oscar.
Oh,
she was lovely. And lovely lady. She's been part of the group for some time, but I don't think she's had a huge amount of time to absorb everything about the Phoenix Way.
Well, that's going to take months.
Well, it's going to take a bit of time, isn't it? Because let's face it, we can't do it in
73
half an
lives,
hour.
Garry, this is 73rd live.
I know. And the It's Not Rocket Science lessons and everything else. And I was so shocked. But the horse stood beautifully, so she could watch everything that I was doing with the trim.
Lovely.
And the lady, I'm sure she won't mind, but she was really quite defensive and sticking up for her long-term farrier.
Right.
Okay, which I understand.
Okay.
I understand, because you build up a relationship over years. But when I was talking to her and said, okay, so this could be a reason for the lameness. And I said, do you see this bit here and this bit here? Well, that's the bar material.
Damn it.
And it's compacted.
Damn it. And pathogens having a party under there?
You have had the shoes off and a trim done 2 days ago. And I got down to the hard sole playing, and it was high at the heels, short at the toe. The toe was in place, I have to say, so that was good. And yeah, well, it was out of balance from heel to toe because it wasn't down to the hard sole playing. And she says, where is all this sole coming from? Where do you stop? And I say, well, you stop when you get to the hard sole plane. What?
When we get to Australia.
When you get to Australia. Hello, Vicky.
I'm just coming through this Hoof. That's weird.
And it was just one after the other, after the other. And then she said, okay, I get your point. And then we had an hour. Well, I was on one. We were having an hour and a half chat.
Poor lady.
An hour and a half chat while I was trimming one horse. And then by the time we finished, she said, can you come back? And said, well, yeah, it'd be 6 weeks though, because I live in France. And she said, oh, I know all that. And she said, can you come back and do all 6?
Oh God. And you went, oh my God.
No.
Oh, no.
And I don't know though, and this was something that was really interesting, because I saw another horse that was, it was the only horse that she had that was shod. And it had a quarter crack. And I said, well, you don't need the shoes to help with that. And she said, well, you'll take the shoes off next time. I said, okay, that's fine. I'll be happy to.
She's going the whole hog.
But what's really interesting, out of the 6 horses, I saw 2, and both front right feet looked as though they were clubbed. But when I trimmed the one that I trimmed, it wasn't clubbed anymore.
Oh no!
So you wonder, and I left her pondering. Now, if you look at your other 4 horses,
is there a pattern?
The front right is clubbed, I'd be concerned.
I tell you,
it's interesting, isn't it? When you see it
all the time, we see it there, don't we? All the time, we absolutely see it all the time. That they're obviously, if you personal preference trim, but you've got muscle memory, you are going to do it slightly different on one side than you do on the other. You'll put more effort in one side than you do on the other, and also depending on how tired you are of the day. In general, if I had to say more times than not, what is the most lame foot for a horse? I would say front left. Nearly all, hands down, front left is nearly always the most lame foot. Like, if obviously all feet can be lame, but if you did a tally, you'd find there'd be more strokes for the left foot than there is for the right foot. That's mainly because most people are right-handed. So it's easy to get in on that side and to do more. And then when we get to the right-hand side, you don't do quite as much because it's not as easy. Hence the reason why the foot looks like it's going to be a little bit more clubby. And so they aren't equal. No foot should really be symmetrical, but clubbing really is more to do with trimming and lifestyle than it is to do with biomechanics. And okay, very occasionally you'll come across a situation like I used to trim a mare, an Arab mare, and she'd broken her shoulder and she'd recovered, but she didn't quite stand and walk quite the same. So her right fore was a little bit higher up than her left. That's how she had it, that she was lovely and sound on that. But it really does go to show that if you personal preference trim, you are going to have issues because of your handedness. It doesn't matter how good you are. That's why it's so incredibly important that we follow what the horse is showing us. Otherwise, how would you know where to stop, Garry? How would you be like, can you imagine trimming like that? Just turning up and going, well, today I'm going to leave 5 mil more than I did last time. Do you know how much you left last time? No, I don't know. I've seen a good 50, 60 horses since then, but I've got photographic memory, so I can. So I know that it was definitely about here, about there anyway. Because you're not following the hard stop place. So where do you put it? Where do you leave it? It's weird and stressful. I don't understand it at all. Not one little bit. Right, where are we? Blah, 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 blah. Alison Franks. Hello, everyone. Evening, everyone. Hello, Alison.
Hi, Alison.
Jackie Berry. Hi, everyone. Ingrid Page.
Hiya.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Megan's here. Hi, everyone. Says Megan. Lisa Charles. Hello. I made it. Contemplating my life choices today. Nothing like battling intense heat. A Belgian horse, I'm assuming, not human being, and swarm of horseflies. Hot and tired I am. You threw it. You're here.
Horseflies are horrendous. I've had horseflies today.
Have you?
Yes. Not great.
Not nice. Not good.
Not good.
I didn't used to ever really it's funny, even to this day, because of the amount of horses and trimming I've done and the amount of bites I've had on my arms, I never blow up with horseflies. Pretty much never. Very occasionally I might, but I never blow up with big welts on my arms. They're just a little bit of a red pimple.
It depends if I get them early. If I get them early, I don't.
But on my legs, I come up in massive welts. Oh, God. And they are hot and angry and sore.
Itchy.
Pseudocreme. It's my go-to. It's always my go-to. Monica's here. Hello, Monica. Jenny Ackerstrom. Hi from Sweden.
Hi, Jenny.
Hilary Higgs says, all good. All good. All good, Hilary.
Well done.
All good. Well done. We love you, Hilary. Reporting from Croatia. Ooh, that's a Croatian flag. Did I know that? I know that now. I do. I know it now.
I won't forget that now.
No. I'll test you tomorrow. It won't be tomorrow. Hi from Peru, you bunch of lovelies, says Nicole. Hi from Peru. What's the Peruvian flag?
You're one of the lovelies too, Nicole.
David Bradbury, Julie and Kate playing around with 15 horses' hooves up north while I'm left to look after 15 horses' needs all on my own day. Just finished. I'm a real hero. It's true. It's true, David.
We say
You
it
are-
all the time, David.
You are the
You
hero
are
out
the
of the pair
true
of you.
hero.
Of course. While she goes off
I
gallivanting,
take it
having
that
fun, having a G&T.
I take it that it's Julie's turn to stay home in 6 weeks' time.
Ooh.
Oh, oh,
Are you off with Kate then? Of course you are.
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Alison says that's interesting. One of mine is currently slight lame on the front left. It's interesting. It is interesting. And that again, don't forget there may be history involved as well.
Yeah.
Max's worst hoof is his front left. He's quite sore at the moment as keeps on chipping off that hoof wall. It's a thing. I'm telling you, it's a thing. Garry, you should see Amazon horseflies. They don't die. Oh, God.
Well, I have to say, the horseflies in the UK are not nice. The horseflies in France are bigger and even less nice. I cannot imagine Amazon horseflies. I do not envy you that one little bit.
No.
They sound as though they're supercharged.
And I'm dying to know, Nicole, what took you to the Amazon rainforest and to Peru? What took you there and to have horses as well? I'm dying to know. I want to know. I want to know the history. All of it. Full story, please. Jennifer says, so interesting. Garry and I talked about this the other night. I'm going to start with the right hind on my mare from now on.
We were talking about, because Jennifer is right-handed, she struggled with that one. And I said, and we had a bit of a discussion. And I said, you might be better starting from that one just to see how you go.
Yes,
but it is a handed thing.
Yes. And the right hind, when you're a trimmer, is notoriously the one that is the hardest to do, usually.
Yes.
Because you've done 3 hooves, you're tired, you're at the back of the horse and you're on the wrong side as a right-handed trimmer.
If you're left-handed, obviously it'd be the left hind that's usually the hardest.
Hello, Libby, all the way from Shetland.
Shetland?
Our horseflies are over an inch big.
Oh, God.
We do have some that have the soaring mouth parts that land on the butts and the horses can't get them and the tail can't get them near the croup. And they've got those 2 soaring mouth parts. Those are massive. But I bet they're nothing compared to what you have. I bet they're an inch big and an inch wide. I can just imagine it. Yeah. Raven's navicular is front left. Very interesting. See? It's all coming out now. Hilary says, yes, I have been plagued by horseflies. What is the purpose of the horsefly in the circle of life? Dagna, I tell you, I've had that thought so many times.
Horseflies, mosquitoes are not needed on the planet.
They're there to move the horses around, I think. That's what it's for.
That's
horses
it.
Galloping across.
And bots. Bots as well. Not that they do so much damage, but they actually wind the horses up.
They do wind the horses up. Sandra's here from Czech. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Oh, Nicole says, right, here we go. Missionary work brought me to Peru. Met my husband here and we work with kids. The horses entered the picture a year ago when I felt pressed to open a trauma centre via equine to minister to abused victims. Oh my God.
We need to know more. We need to know more.
We think you're amazing. Is your husband Peruvian? Is that how you say it? Or because you're from the States, aren't you? That's incredible. Oh my God. I bow down. Dawn's here. Hi, everyone from a hot Cornwall today. Horses have taken to their shelters all day today. Yes, it's very hot here. And so the horses have. I came back from my walk, Garry, earlier, and there were no horses. And I came back from my walk earlier, and as I came, they were all marching back into the field, and they were all just, back on, and they were going, no, calling everybody. Are you coming? And calling and going over and having a drink and sauntering around. And I thought, I've put some fresh hay out for you. You're going to love that. And then all over the mounds and the big, then they went and knocked over one of the hay bales, of course. Again. And I just looked at them and I thought, so nice. Choice. They've been hiding from the flies, getting cool, and now they're out, and they'll spend all night eating now and all night just
They have
pottering
it quite
around.
luxurious in the summer, don't they? Because they
It's
get to spend
lovely.
time in your very large house
It's
that dates
not
back
this
to
house.
your very large house that is being renovated. And
So the horses
they,
use it at the moment.
yes, so they're in the kitchen and the bedroom, and you see these massive horses walking through these little doorways. And it's absolutely amazing. We'll have to do a little video, won't we?
We will. It has no doors and windows. It is just a big shed at the moment.
We'll have to go around and say, well,
But it dates back.
this is. It's usually that you got this is Carmen and Ophelia and Broom, and they are currently in my kitchen.
That's
and then
right.
you go
They
next
were
door
today.
through the
They were
kitchen.
today.
That's where they like to stand.
Because she's
and
so
then
big.
in the
It's 'cause
dining room, there
Carmen's
is
so
usually
massive.
Casimir, the
That's right. That's
donkey.
quite right. Yeah, that's where he
And
was.
then as you go through from the kitchen
Asher's
into
bedroom.
the other wing, which is Asher's bedroom, there is usually Tony, Oscar, and Darcy. And
It's true.
It's just the same. They've got their own spaces.
One day,
I'll do it when I come back. I'll do it when I come back.
Renovated my doomsday farmhouse. They won't be able to go in there, obviously. So,
No.
but I have another big barn that they'll be going in then. But yes. It's quite funny. It's quite funny. Carol Colbert's here. Both of mine left front. Hi from Canberra. Jennifer says mosquitoes are needed because their larvae are the main source of food for river fish, apparently. Yes. Everything is part of the circle of life. Everything has to be eaten.
Why can't they stay
everything
as
has
larvae?
to be eaten, but that's how it all goes around and around, doesn't it? All around and around. Grace says, finally free for a life for once. I'm dying from heat. Oh, it's good to have you here, Grace. I'll send you those x-rays afterwards because I saw that pop up when you just as we were going live. I'll send them to you later, darling. Therese says, don't worry, Garry. You did great.
I forgot what I did great.
I don't know. What did he do great with? I have no idea.
I think it might have been with the horse.
Oh, yes.
Maybe.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry, I'm tired. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago.
Listen to this. Nicole says, yes, my husband is Peruvian. I'm his Lesh and he's my black coffee. Oh, I like it. I love it. I love it. David says, Julie can rasp with the right hand or left hand. Really pees me off when I'm underneath one of our horses trying to rasp. Oh my God, I can't. Well, obviously I can do it with two hands.
David?
I can't. If I'm doing the toe with my right hand, I cannot flip it to my left. And I just don't have the power at all.
I can't either. I can't use my left hand.
And when
I can do it pulling. I can pull it.
Yeah.
I can pull it with my left hand.
And when I'm nippering, that's the main power hand. That's the support hand. And when I do my knife work, that's my power hand. That's the support hand. Left is, you're just support. That's what you do. You're the power hand and you're support. There you go. But no, they can't. They both fight if they were both the same. I can't do it.
Asher can do both.
Yeah. She can, but then they eat the wrong way around with their knife and fork, my children. They're weirdos, and yet they're both right-handed. My dad was ambidextrous. Anne says, looking at a house of two... Ooh! Looking at a house of 2 acres tomorrow. My dream of having a track with looking out of the horses may be a reality soon.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Everything. Just give it
I had a message from Joe. You know, Joe, my client with Elsa, and she came to see you met her at Longmarsh.
I know.
Longmarsh, not this year, but the year before.
I know.
And she's just sold her house, and then offer's been accepted on a place with a couple of acres down in Cornwall. Yeah, she's thrilled. So she's looking for another mare to go with Elsa, so she can be all set up, and she's got a barn for them to run into and everything. So
finally,
get off
oh
that
my God,
yard.
that's just the dream, isn't it? That's the dream.
And
And people are watching this and going, "That's my dream."
So that's 2 of my clients.
Don't give up
So we had
on that
Claire
dream.
in the week. So you never give up giving up.
No,
Do you know what I mean? You never give
It'll
up.
come. It'll come. If
'Cause
you want something
you
bad enough,
manifest it.
I'm
You
not
manifest
joking.
it.
If you want
Yeah.
something bad enough, you can get it. Really, you can. 100%.
Fingers crossed, Anne. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Nichols is that talking about rasping. I just figured out that the rasp is meant to rasp in one direction as teeth face. You didn't just say that out loud, Nicole, did you? Don't say that.
I didn't get that. Hold on, I'm reading.
So the rasp only cuts in one. She's.
Yeah.
Never
like a
mind.
saw.
I know you said that out loud, but we've all forgotten it now. We've done the Men in Black. Boop. We've forgotten you even said it.
I remember a time, and this was
So
when I go back. I go back to my school days. And
can you remember that far back, Gary?
Don't be so rude. I'm not quite as old as you.
But I look younger.
Yes, that's true. I've had a much harder paper round. And I've got to keep you going.
Yes, you have.
So back in school, and there I picked up a hacksaw, and it was like I had to do a bit of metal work, and it was blunt. It was rubbish. So my teacher said, "Well, here's a new blade. Replace it." So I put it in. I said, "It ain't working."
Because you put it in backwards.
I put it in backwards. But isn't it interesting? Is it the Chinese or the Japanese? Their saws actually have you pull to cut instead of push to cut.
I think it's Japanese actually.
I can't remember which one it is.
Pull saws, not push.
They're pulls, yeah. Which actually sometimes makes a bit more sense, I have to say. But yes. But then when you have that lesson,
for ladies,
you never forget.
It does, because that is easier than that. That is a harder motion for a lady than that, actually, because you're using your anyway, whatever. That's hilarious. Jackie Kenny says, I'm right-handed, but I find the right feet easier. I'm weirdo. Well, whatever. And sometimes it's
if you say so, Jackie.
And and yeah. What? Yeah, I was just thinking then out loud, but and you saw that was a moment when you saw Lindsay's brain thinking about something and the mouth not catching up, which is just it's a rare event, but it just happened. It'll never happen again, probably in your lifetime, but it just happened just then. Also, you also have it's about you too and your flexibility. Yeah. So I can't remember which way it is now. I can turn one way better than the other because I'm not balanced myself, which is one of the reasons when I ride, which isn't very often nowadays at all anymore because I'm so busy, but I tend to ride in a bareback pad because I'm not held up by I'm not put in a certain position with my stirrups and my hips and my knee. I'm buggered. Literally, I'm buggered, but I can do things to get around being buggered. But yes, you're not balanced in your body either. And there's probably quite a few body people who would probably watch this and go, I know what you should do. And I know I've been told about it and I'm naughty. I don't look after myself. I'm very bad. Holding thumbs for you, Anne. That's so exciting. Oh, I also use my tools with both right and the wrong hand. Well,
that's just blimming clever.
It is, I'm afraid, blooming clever.
I just can't do it.
No.
I am very right-handed, but then I was thinking about it. I got me right dodgy toe, I got a right dodgy knee, a right dodgy hip, a right dodgy elbow, and a right dodgy thumb.
And now I'm all dodgy.
I'm all.
Yeah, I'm
my
dodgy
right
on my left side.
Good.
I'm dodgy on my left side. Yes. From
No,
the moment when I was
dodgy
little and I had a subluxation in my left knee, and it's gone on from there, really. You would benefit from it. Yes, I know. I've been told that. I'd benefit from anything other than sat in my office all day. Anyway, what do we get to do next week, Garry? I'm so excited.
next week.
Have you forgotten already? Don't you know what we're doing next week, Garry?
I know where we're going.
Yes, we are going to
We're going to Galsworth. And we're actually going to meet Wexford. I can't wait.
Yes, because I
can't wait.
I'm going to give him a big kiss. I've not met him yet, Wex. I mean, I have.
Neither of us have we?
A million times on videos, but obviously I've not met him in person. I'm so looking forward to that. We are going to have such a great time. It's going to be a big workshop. We've got a lot.
I think. Do you want me to tell you how many at last count?
Somebody bought one last minute. I think a few days ago.
At last count, and that's as long as I haven't forgotten any students, because the list is so long. I've had to go over to 3 pages now.
I don't know if I want to hear it. Go on.
So with you, me, Asher, and Tim, 45 people.
I hope Bethan's not listening. So sorry,
45 people.
She's got a big car park though. That's okay. She's got a big car park.
Oh, we got plenty of room.
God, I'm looking forward to the big picture of us all underneath the Galsworth sign.
Yes, exactly.
Can't wait. It's going to be
awesome.
Fun. It's going to be great fun. We've got students. We've got returning.
Oh my God, is it going to be
challenge student? We've got returning workshop people. We've got some challenge students turning up, and we've obviously got people who are brand new to us, who haven't done anything with HM before, other than probably been on the Phoenix group. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And I've had to buy, because my voice is just about recovered. I don't know if you noticed, but it's not as croaky as it was, so it's just recovering. But we've bought a little PA system, well, quite a big PA system, because I can't. My voice is getting weaker and weaker, and I can't keep projecting.
You don't need to be able to project your voice anymore, do you?
I'm not projecting, darling. No. I cannot wait. Hillary says, Galsworth, yes. Hillary's bringing her daughter.
Well done, Hillary.
Just booked a hotel. Fine, good job.
Well, that's good. Nothing like leaving it to the last minute.
No. Dawn says, Galsworth, I can't wait either. Brilliant. Oh, I'm so sad it's so far away. Well, there's always trains. Karen says, you aren't a good advert for taking up trimming as a profession with all the aches and pains. No, I'm not. But I've been doing it for quite some time. No, I'm probably not.
We have been doing it for years. And when
although
I know we've got plenty of life in us yet, but yes, we're no spring chicken.
No. See you at Galsworth, says Karen. Cheers. Absolutely. Cannot wait. It's going to be brilliant. Cheers. We've hired another 2 toilets, Garry, because Bethan's got one. So we've hired another 2.
That's a good idea.
Plenty
Otherwise,
of loos.
When we have the breaks, it would end up taking an hour for everybody to have a pee.
That's right. And we're buying another 20 chairs from Habitat because they're cheaper. They're little like deck cherry things.
Oh, right. Cool.
Instead of hiring them, because we've got some that are broken anyway, haven't we?
Yes.
Sorry, we're just having our general meeting here while you're all listening in. Sorry about that.
The logistics of Galsworth is immense. Well, any workshop is immense, I have to say.
Do you know how many legs we're going to have to order? Have you worked that out?
Well, now we've had an extra couple of orders, I'm going to have to actually put them up. But the last count I asked for was 92. So it's going to be at least 100 by the time I finished.
So you see, here's the difference about HM and about an awful lot of other peeps and people who go out and do bits and pieces. We go through hundreds of cadaver legs, which means that we have the opportunity of seeing really firsthand what is going on out there in a really big, broad way. And of course, we can get into these hooves, we can cut them up, which is what we do. And depending on the workshop, we never know what we're going to get. But I dare say, sadly, there will be a lot of ponies and horses that will have been put to sleep this summer, because there nearly always is every year. And at this time of the year. And so we'll probably get quite a bit of those. And it'll be interesting. We get to see, over the years, we've got to see so many things. And we don't always put everything out on the internet, because some of it can be a bit gory. But some of the stuff we do, and it is really fascinating. And of course, everybody gets to trim. Everybody gets to trim. Everyone. Except the horses. They don't trim. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Jackie says, I looked at coming over for the Norfolk clinic, as it's quite close to my parents, but my brother is coming here to see me. Happy to see my brother, but gutted about the clinic.
Oh, that's a shame.
Never mind.
Perhaps you can get a flight to Aberdeen.
Can you fly to Aberdeen? Because that's not Aberdeen. David will tell you he's not far from the airport, and we're going to David.
It's something like 15-20 minutes from the airport, from what I can
remember. Do you want us to bring our own chairs? No, you don't have to bring your own chairs. No, you don't have to.
Travel mugs, yes.
Although, yes, no, you don't have to bring your own chairs. Travel mugs, definitely, because we won't have enough paper cups. So travel mugs, definitely. And just be very quick off the mark for the cakes, frankly, because it'll be a bum fight. Cake fight is what it'll be, because everybody will be diving in trying to get the cakes, which incidentally I haven't ordered yet. I must do that. But maybe a cushion for your bum. Hundreds of cadaver experience that other trimmers just have so little exposure to. Trimmers, yes, even hoof care professionals. But what about vets? What about the fact that they don't? We know, we've told you this story, haven't we? That when we go to the place where we get our legs from. Oh, can you hear Pinky? When we go to the place where we get our legs from, he supplies quite a few of the veterinary colleges, and they never want bare horses. They always want shod feet. And I remember last time we went, he was collecting shod ones for the their exams, but he didn't. It was
final exam time, wasn't it?
They had about 70 of them, while we walked away with something like 500 or something stupid. We had so many. It was an awful lot. We had, I think it was 75 horses worth, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yes.
That we worked out. It's a bit grim, isn't it? You will need to put Wex in the photo. Aha! No, we may do that. Always use shod. Yeah, it's weird. We may do that. We might try and do that. Jennifer, the cakes are legendary part of the workshops alongside Tim's lentil curry. I shall tell him. Oh my God, what was so cool, wasn't it? Yummy.
We only provide lunches on the training camp.
Yes,
so that's for special students.
So not on the workshops.
On the workshops.
Cake we provide on the workshop, free, and drinks, etc. But not lunch. Not now. We used to years ago, but not anymore. Only on the training camps do we do that. Meta's here. Hello, Meta. Hi, I'm late today. Yep. No worries. We haven't really done anything. We've just been chatting. I'm looking into Aberdeen. Yes, that would be great. Aberdeen. Okay, cool. So we've done 40 minutes pretty much of just nothing. Chit chat.
But it was chit chat and talking about rasping in the right direction.
In the right direction. Away from the handle, probably.
And finding the hard sole plane, which so many hoof care professionals do not know how to do.
No.
They have no clue, which is really interesting. I find that really interesting, because if you can't find a constant, how do you know what you're trimming to?
Well, one of their constants.
You're just trimming by eye, or the hoof pastern axis.
Right. So look, one of the constants definitely is the HPA, the hoof pastern axis, which of course, as we know, is a really bad one to use because it's not a constant.
It's not a constant
at all. It's just an arbitrary guide. And that gets rasped away to be in line with the hoof pastern axis, the hoof wall. It's an arbitrary guide, and so it's really bad. So if you let's say you don't use that. What are you going to use, right? You go down to the horse's hoof and you're like, I'm going to trim this foot. And they leave quarters above the hard sole plane. How much? How much quarter do you want to leave above the hard sole plane? And then they take too much toe. And then they say, it's okay, I've taken the toe, but we're going to have a 10-2 pillars of support. I've never met a horse that has 10-2 pillars of support naturally. No. And you're just saying that because you just chop the toe off. And then the horse gets a callus. And you're like, yeah, the horse has got a callus. And we're like, no. I mean, yay, it's got a callus. But no, it's trauma. You just caused that. What are you doing? And then they get back to the heels. They're like, today, Garry, I can't be bothered to take the bars off. Today, I'm going to leave the bars because my argument is if they keep popping back, horse
They're supposed to be there.
Horse must need them. It's the hoof wall.
Rubbish.
It's just growing like every other part of the hoof wall. What are you talking about? Popping back.
It's just not getting the wear. That's because the horse is in captivity. It's in a domestic environment.
And then we get to the heels and I'm like, today, Garry, like I said, I'm going to leave 5 mil or a credit card's thickness. Or because 5 mil, it sounds like, honestly, 10 mil, a whole centimetre, longer than that. We have removed inches off horses' feet that have been trimmed not that long ago. It is shocking. Shocking. Really shocking what goes on out there. David says, Jackie, you will be very welcome, but Garry, don't bring 45 people.
That made me laugh.
I think he knows. He's not allowed.
I know I'm not allowed to bring 45 people.
He's keeping on top of that. Vivian says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late and we'll catch up later. That's okay.
Hi, Vivian.
Cooking dinner. What are you having for dinner? Meta says, what's the best thing to do when you pull shoes off a horse and the frog is proud? Right. It's a good question. And the best thing to do is leave it alone. Now, this becomes a little bit of judgment, and we talk about this sort of thing on the training camp. We go into this in quite a big way on the training camp, but it depends on the horse. It depends on the health of the foot, and it depends on whether you've got a horse that's got a weaker foot or a stronger foot. It really just depends. And the reason it depends is this. And also, it depends again. I'm going to tell you all the depends. Why it depends so many times. It depends because one, right, on hind feet, they often take the heels down further than they should, leaving the frog in play. And usually on thoroughbreds and those kinds of breeds, they'll take the heels down further. Not always, but often. So when you take those shoes off, you're like, there's nothing. If I take that frog down right now, I'm going to make that horse sore. So he's just going to have to live with that. And the heels and the frog are just going to have to sort themselves out, which they will. The important thing that I must do if I take a shoe off a hind foot or any foot is I must eyeball it and look for balance, because I may not trim when I take a shoe off, because I've just taken the horse's shoe off and I'm like, there's really not a lot of horn going on there. They've had their toe removed. And
it's almost that there's not enough foot. So you don't want to take anything away, isn't it?
No. So you just go, leave it. I'm just going to leave it. I make sure the heels are balanced. I make sure that I've got whatever else is in balance. So I've not got any high toe pillars or anything like that. And then away you go. The last thing we want to do is get in and carve it all down to the hard sole plane. We don't do that. If there's big chunky bars that look like they're infected, etc., we may take that. This is just the first trim. This is the setup trim. But we make sure that it's balanced and as back as we can take it. But if let's say we take the shoes off a big cobby drafty type horse, and they've got big chunky big frogs that love to get a lot of Yes, I want to be on the ground. Yes, I want to be there. And you take the shoe off and you're like, ooh, crikey, there's quite a bit to come down here. You leave the horse to sort itself out and come back in 6 weeks and it will have sorted itself out to a point. It will have leveled itself out. The horse will have shed a load of frog. And then you can take the foot down to where it needs to be, and then it'll do it again, and then it'll stop doing that. After a couple of trims, the horse will stop producing too much frog. It will just settle itself down. As long as what you're doing is a good, decent trim after you've done, on the second trim, right? So it's a bit of judgment. It's a bit of looking at the hoof and whatever. Do I take frog material away? Yes, I do. But it depends on the size of the frog. It depends on the health of the frog. It depends. That's at the beginning. And that's when you're taking the shoes off, because you've got to just help them out a little bit. They've just come out of shoes. Their feet are not going to be the best. No, they're not. I don't care what anybody says, they're not. Even their hoof walls. Some horses can come out of shoes and be like, yoo-haw, I never needed a shoe in the first place. Not that any of them do, but you know what I mean. And they're like, lang, lang, lang. That's like polka. So that's Kelly's. Oh, I think somebody's just arrived in my house. That's freaky. Oh, it's your wife. There she is.
I expect she's a little bit pickled as well.
I bet she's a little bit pickled. Are you a bit pickled?
You're on the telly, honey. Tell her she's on the telly.
She is on the telly. You know you're on the live right now.
No, she'll disappear.
Grab a bottle of wine, Ash. Ash, grab a bottle of wine, Rach. We'll sit down and have a glass, and you can tell me all about it.
It's my good lady wife's mum's, Gina. It's her 80th birthday today.
15 minutes. Okay, because bins need to go up. Ah, ha, ha, ha. She's come to tell me the bins need to go up. Right. Okay, we're nearly there, Rach. We'll be with you. Wine. Okay, she's off.
She's off to get more wine.
That was so funny. She's just piddled. She's honestly piddled. Okay, before you even start to trim, what do you mean? What's the best thing to do?
I think that was to do with the frog.
Yeah, it'll sort itself out. It won't take long, but it's a
bit of a judgment call.
But if I've got a client and their shoes and the horse is coming out of shoes, like Garry did today, or it came out a few days ago, the last thing you want to do is overdo it for that horse. Yeah. You've got to take it a little bit easy when they first come out of shoes. Sometimes you can do a full trim and it makes no difference whatsoever. They're hunky-dory. Other times you just
That was the scenario today. That was the scenario today.
Yeah.
Even though it had been shod, the foot, sometimes they just look weak and weedy.
Yeah. Well, caudal failure oftentimes. I hate
that.
I hate it.
Yes, they were elongated. Yes, there was contraction at the back of the foot, but the foot didn't look weak, so I knew it could take a trim. Yeah, so it is a judgment call. It is a judgment call.
Alison says, "Yep, this is why I moved away from my last trimmer. Why? I missed it. I don't know why. It's because they were ambidextrous, right-handed, left-handed. I don't know." Hillary says heels and bars are often left alone. They are
by other hoof care professionals. You're absolutely right.
Oh, it's anybody's guess, but it's usually the heels and bars are left. Usually the bars. Therese says, I was trimming a horse today and found an old abscess. Now I'm wondering how to treat it best. I have photos so I can put it up in the group. Well, send it to me. Have we got time? I don't know. We'll have a quickly send it to me.
If you send it to Lindsay's private messenger thingy, then she'll bring it up on screen. Or
Carly,
me. It doesn't matter which.
Hello. I don't know your name. Hello. Welcome
to
the lives. Welcome. I'm in Canada. We get very very dry hot summers here. The hooves become very hard without water. If this is the case, how do you get bars off when the hoof is so hard? Ideally, you would soak the feet to keep the moisture, but right. Here's what you do. Every single time you trim your horse's foot through the winter, You make sure that you're keeping on top of the bars, right? So that when it comes to the summer or any time of the year, they shouldn't be popping up and be massive. They shouldn't. If you keep on top of them, okay, they are going to grow up to a certain amount, or they're going to fold over a certain amount, and then that's hard. But if you leave them, they will get harder. And I'm not saying that you're leaving them, but that's the way to make sure to help yourself in the summer, is just make sure you're keeping on top of those bars at every single trim, right down to the hard sole plane. Don't be leaving dirt lines. Don't be leaving folded over bars when it's easier to get them off. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then when you come to the summertime, the hot time, it's easier. So that's my tip. But what happens if that hasn't been happening and you're in the summer? Soaking them doesn't help. Honestly, you'd have to soak them for quite a long time. You can put water around your water trough, but again, they're not standing in it enough. They're just not. So it's difficult because they can compact and they can get quite hard. So it's a sharp knife job and chipping away. And sometimes when you do it, you think, oh, there's really no bar. I don't see any dirt line. It's okay, but it is a folded over lump. If you leave that, the sole will just keep growing. Just keep growing, and that lump will just get bigger and they'll feel it. So my top tip is don't let them get big in the first place. But if they are big, sharp knife. And don't go down too down where the accreted material is going down towards the frog. Just get it off to the hard sole plane, but don't go further than that. Keep your trimming of the bar further up on the true bar. All right. Hillary says just remove shoes, only removed high bars, balance seals. That was it. Perfect.
Great job.
Hi, Rachel. She's gone. She's gone.
She's gone.
Sorry, this is off topic, but is there a I think that might meant to say virtual. Oops, trainer you recommend online? A virtual trainer? What, like as in like a virtual one? Or do you mean like an online consultation? I don't know what you mean. Tell me what you mean. Should the back of the frog be open to the bottom of the collateral grooves? Should the back of the frog be open to the bottom of the collateral grooves?
Well, the collateral grooves need to be clear of frog. I think that's what you might be saying. So you've got the grooves.
Oh, I think that's what you are saying.
I think that's what you're saying. So you've got the V of the frog, and if the frog has been overlaid, and sometimes if you've got a twisty foot, it can lean over one side because it hasn't been worn, and it can fill in those collateral grooves, maybe one side or both sides. Then that needs to be cleared, because otherwise, just like when the bar folds over with the frog folding over, nasties can get in there and breed and have a party and create abscesses and stuff. But you know, when you see farriers, they really carve the frog and make it look pristine and all of that. You don't need to do that. It's just opening up those collateral grooves if it's necessary.
Indeed. Right. Where? Oh, I've lost you. Where have you
gone? Is this from Therese?
Yeah. So this is from Therese. You can see that Therese and I, she sends me photos, hoofy photos. Everybody sends me hoofy photos. All I do all day long is people send me photos of hooves. What a life. What do you do? I look at hooves all day long. Right, let me go back to my, God, where's it gone? Okay, can you see this?
Yes. So this, can you blow the picture up?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
All right.
So this was the beginning of the trim, and we're coming down to the hard sole plane here. Very good. A little bit of accreted material there, but she hasn't fully trimmed yet. She's just started to trim. And there's a little bit of material here. Remember, the bars finish there and there. But when they're taken, when the heels go back, then they're going to be a little bit further up, aren't they? You can see here that there's a little crack just here. That's because that's where the abscess burst, but I don't think there's a crack there. And then there it is, just starting to say hello. Now, the one thing that we mustn't do is see something and go, get it. And I can tell you, for a spot picker, because that's who I am, I love picking spots. Anybody's spots, bring it on. The bigger, fatter, juiciest, pussiest spots you like, I love them. And I love to, I know it's probably making people feel quite gross.
Don't be so blimmin' gross.
I love that sort of thing. But I have had to train myself over the years not to chase stuff. Right. So I don't think Teresa's chased. I just think she's moved it. She's trimmed down to the hard sole plane, and then that little bit popped off. Perfect trim. That's beautiful.
Nice.
Liking that. I mean, I can't tell what the balance is like, but in terms of the roll and everything, my lover, that's brilliant.
Even going between the two pictures, you can see how that surface area has increased because those heels are back.
Yeah. Let's look at that now. Yeah. And then back. And then we've got another photo. What did she say about that? Hang on a minute. Let me just read what she said about that. She said, the red dot shows where the abscess burst 5 weeks ago. I see what you're saying. Right. 5 weeks ago. And this is what we see now. Oh, let's come back, Lindsay. Share your screen. Share screen. There we go. Yeah. And that's why the back of that heel is now starting to pop off. It's coming down now. It's all around here, and it'll be open up. And when you come to trim this in another 5 weeks' time, this will have opened up even more. But all of this sole will be all healing. You'll tell that there's been an abscess there, but it'll be healing. And of course, the abscess will likely have been all the way under here. And sometimes we'll get its way all the way down here. But you can still see there's quite a bit of it still to come out. But it's out, it's drained. It drained when it burst up here, of course. This is just where the infection was lingering. And I cannot tell you how common these are when the bars are not down to the hard sole plane. This is how you should be seeing your bar. You should be seeing the bar just like you can with the hoof wall, right? You can see that lovely white line. Then you've got the water line, and then you've got the outer hoof wall. All right. And here, look, because Garry likes to talk about this when he does his little talk. You see how that water line, that white line, the bright white bit, which is the water line, not the white line, which is the golden bit, but this bit in the middle, which is the water line.
Confused, you will be.
Yeah, confused.com. that is the hardest part of the hoof, right? But you see how that spreads out over the heel because there's more horn here. Why? Well, because the horse is walking on this area, right? So that's why they need more there. But yeah, that'll gradually just grow out, and it's history. Horse doesn't even know, couldn't even care less. We're all good. That's fine. Brilliant. Perfect trim. Very good.
Oh, hold on. Go back to the picture. Go back to the picture. Sorry, you took it away too quick.
There we go. Can you see it?
So where the abscess is, that black bit, can you bring that up even more, or is that as close in as you can go? Can you see that it's almost like a goldeny color underneath?
Yep.
So that's the new sole.
Yep. And it goes hard real quick, doesn't it, Garry?
Yes. So very often when you've got excess sole bar material and you take it off down to the hard sole plane, very often a lot of that where the abscess was, there's like a disconnect between the old sole and the new sole because the abscess material was inside in between.
Yeah.
So, but when it goes, it's that sort of goldeny color. And it's almost, it feels a bit soft, but as soon as it gets to the air, it's almost within sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes, all of a sudden it goes hard.
Yeah, it doesn't
fascinating.
It's not soft as in dying.
No. It's just not hard like the hard sole plane.
Yeah, it doesn't feel hard.
but it changes very quickly,
really
very
fast.
quickly,
And
really fast.
And this is why taking photographs is so good, because you see more when you've taken a photograph, or you can go away. Look, you can see this discoloration down here going into the white line. So that is covering all of that area there. Then you see this part here. This is part of it too, and this discolors down here. So it's likely that this abscess is at least as big as that.
Yeah.
At least as big as that. And there may have been a little bit of an infection over here too. But that one didn't do anything. So it lingers about in there, and then it goes all the way back here and goes boop, pops, and then
out at the coronary
starts
band,
coming down.
or at the heel bulb.
So by the time you see this like this, it's well gone. It was 5 weeks ago, to be precise. So there you go. Very good. Very, very, very good. Teresa's saying, should it be cleaned and treated with hoof stuff, or just left alone? You leave it alone.
Leave it alone. It's done its thing.
It's done now.
The abscess is out. You're just dealing with the aftermath. Everything inside the foot has done its thing now. You're now just it's just growing out, just as if it was at the front of the foot. If an abscess blew out at the coronary band at the front, it heals. The hoof wall grows out, and then that split at the top grows down, and it snaps off when it gets close to the ground. That's just doing the same at the back. It's just that there's some soul in that bar area that's doing the same.
Yeah. Jenny says, Therese, what a beautiful trim. Living near Stockholm. She's right up in the north. Come and trim my horses.
There you go, Therese. You got a customer.
Vivian says, Therese, nice trim. It really is.
It was a very nice trim.
Nicole says, are we talking about trainer? I see what you're saying. Look at Warwick Schiller. Really nice work and whole approach. Yeah, Warwick Schiller's quite. I like Warwick Schiller's stuff.
I like him too.
Meta says, thank you. You're very welcome, my dear. Like for ground exercise for beginners. Yeah. That's a great place to start. And I know so many of you will go, no. But when I started my journey, and the most simplest thing of learning the 7 games in Pirelli. Sorry, I said it. I'm very proud of my Pirelli heritage. I am incredibly proud of it. So I am going to sing it from the rooftops, because it's not exactly what everybody always thinks. Really, I went and spent 6 weeks in Pirelli land. And I was deeply into it at one time. But the 7 games, which is on level 1, is really, really great. And it's like the basics of everything. And Warwick Schiller does a similar thing, but it's not. He doesn't call it the same thing. But it's a basic pattern that you follow, that then everything comes off. Because if you can't do that, and one of those games is backing the horse away from you, you would be surprised. Maybe you wouldn't. How many owners cannot back their horse away from them? They can't get them out of their space. It is a shockingly high number. There are more horse owners than not that I meet that can't do that, until I teach them what they've got to do. And then they're like, oh, honestly, huge amount of people. And if you can't, and that's fundamental number 1, if you can't ask the horse gently out of your space, that's going to be a problem. And far too many horsey people cling around the horse's face. That's about dirty dancing. This is my
space.
And that's
your space.
It's yours. This is mine. Do you remember that? Oh, we've talked about that before. Right. I can hear Rachel's returned. We've got to put the bins up in a minute. It's such glamorous life that we lead. So she's laughing. So I'm gonna love you and leave you. We're off, Garry. We're gonna be off like a bad smell. Okay,
we are
now.
Tomorrow.
There won't. Well, I can't do the live tomorrow night.
Okay,
because
we'll have a night off then.
It's Tim's last night with his kids.
Oh, what with Grace and Kofi?
So I'm going.
Oh, nice.
I'm going out for dinner with my partner, because
that's all right. I've got plenty to do. More than
Ah, look
plenty
at
to
him
do.
running away from doing it on his own. He's such
Well, I
a
would if I
scaredy
didn't
cat.
have plenty to do.
I have plenty to do when I do it on my own. So we're going to have an argument about that now. Jenna says thanks and hi to Rachel. Jenny says hi. Jennifer. I didn't say Jenny. I didn't say that then. You didn't hear me say that. It was just Jenny Fur. You didn't hear me say the fur bit. Thank you both. Put your bins out. I will. Out. All right then, lovelies.
So when we go then, if we're not doing one tomorrow, there's no challenge club on Saturday. So we're back on Tuesday. Is that right?
Tuesday. And then
yes,
we haven't got many next week because.
And in actual fact, I might not be able to do Tuesday because I'm actually at my sister's with my niece and nephew as well. So I might not even be able to do Tuesday. Unless perhaps we'll do a live on Thursday whilst travelling to Galsworth.
We'll be at Galsworth by then in the evening, I would think.
We would.
We'll do a live on Thursday and we'll hopefully, I can't guarantee what state we'll be in. I'll do definitely a live on Tuesday. I'm hoping the students are going to do a live on Wednesday. So they should have 3 lives next week. We won't get one done on Friday night because we will be royally pooped. So
we will. No. Because there's 45 of us at Galsworth. Once we've done 8 or 9 hours with that many people, we will be banjaxed.
Absolutely.
But, oh my God, are we looking forward to that?
She says you've been called worse. Okay, I'm so looking forward to that. But I will definitely see you Tuesday. God knows what Gary's going to be doing. But I will be with you, my lovelies. And we'll see you then. Love you all. Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care.